Okay, I'm covering the complete foot wake-up drill that we use in RPR. The additional wake-up drills we use in this one is the arch and the tibialis. The reason I'm showing these briefly is that they work together. We want you to do this before you do any physical activity, maybe doing something strenuous, or in the morning. But RPRs do not replace anything. You can't do this drill and say, oh, now I don't have to train my feet if my feet are weak. That's not the case. This just improves the training. This improves anything prescribed by doctors or physical therapists or your trainers. So what we're showing you here in this slide is someone wearing socks. We drew lines on the socks so that the bones of the toes. Now you're holding the gun sideways, not so it's directly pointing in and out. I'll cover what gun works really well with this at the end of the video. But ultimately, we're just going in between the toes. And you'll see that as you go in between the toes, you can go either way, up and down. And then again, you're holding the gun sideways, laying it so that it rubs sideways on your foot. That little point there is the point of my ankle bone. And then I'm going up and down the edge of my Achilles in the back. You can see as I go up and down. Now here I'm going around each of the foot pads. I'm hitting the arch of the foot with that gun. It's a very effective method. I'm going the underneath foot pad. I just circled it really quick. And then I did the back pad of my foot, the heel basically. I went around the bottom edge of the heel pad. And then what I'm doing right here, you can see I'm just showing you the arch reset. So I'm just rubbing that gun up and down, which is tied to the arch of your foot. This is why we tie these together. Now I'm finishing the rest of the foot reset, which is back of the Achilles. And then I'll go around the bone sticking out in your foot. And then I'll rub up and down the tibialis muscle, which we have all these resets in RPR, but ultimately these are very effective tool for your feet. Now, if somebody wanted to get up and walk around after they did one side, you can feel how different your foot is. It's actually activated, turns on. Now, if you do other things to activate it, we just recommend you do this quick 30-second reset really quickly so that you can do all your other stuff and it makes the other stuff even more effective. So I just want to cover some basic things if you understand that. And then effects of the foot arch and tibialis reset. If you have general foot pain, foot weaknesses, balance issues, knee pain, this has been found to help. Okay, with athletes is what I usually train. All this stuff actually works with athletes too, but just general population. But now the athletes, it can increase speed because your foot's activated and it can absorb force. I lecture about this all the time. Acceleration speed, change of direction is a big deal with a bad foot or foot that doesn't activate itself correctly. And then the squat depth, because then the muscles, the only thing that touches the ground is your foot. I mentioned this in all my educational videos. And if your foot's unstable, the squat depth can be an issue because your body is afraid to get into that deep position. Change of direction will be high. People's backs tighten up. So yes, just by doing these resets and people walking around, their backs can loosen up. We found foot problems tied to hamstring strains, groin strains, other foot issues, obviously. Athletes will play high. They have tight hips, tight lower backs. Their spine's tight. Their core doesn't work completely. When I say reflexively, I don't mean that it's on all the time. I mean reflexively. Valgus knees, when the knees go in. This quick reset can help with that. And there's many, many more. I'm not going to get into the extent of that because I could go all day and lecture for an hour on all these things that are tied together. But the foot is the only thing that touches the ground when you walk and run. And this is why it must be taken care of. Now, when to implement, I do it before training, in the weight room, or a skill learning, whether the skill is running, jumping, playing your sport, whether you do rehab work, whether you do barefoot training. And the biggest thing is that you do this prior to your events so that you learn the skill and then your foot is functioning optimally to prevent injury so that your muscles can work optimally. The gun I recommend there was the Pocket Power Massager by Tim Tam. It's the one gun that we can actually use in all the RPR resets we feel best. Now, there are other guns we do like, but this is the one we like the most with the vibration, the frequencies, levels. You can use RPR code, just RPR discount code to get 40% off this gun. I will put this link on the YouTube page right below, and you can use that. Just put the gun in, and the company says you could get 40% or $40 off.